Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm a mortician. I talk about death, dying, and all the ways funeral directors can either restore your faith in humanity or completely obliterate it. And today we're obliterating because the story out of Pittsburgh is so vile, so deceitful, so low that even the maggots on those trash bags are offended. Meet Patrick Vereb, licensed funeral director, self-proclaimed animal lover, and allegedly the kind of guy who will look you in the eye, promise to lovingly cremate your pet chihuahua, take your money, and then send you home with a bag of who the hell knows. Spoiler, it's not your dog. So here's what happened. Vereb ran Eternity Pet Memorial, a pet cremation and burial business in Pennsylvania. Over 6,500 pet owners paid him, either directly or through their veterinarians, to give their furry family members a respectful send-off. But what did he do instead? According to a whistleblower and funeral intern, Tiffany, and she has quite the last name. Anyway, she's a hero. Funeral intern Tiffany, he took smaller animals and dumped them in landfills, literally. Threw them away like garbage. Meanwhile, the larger dogs, those over 55 pounds, he cremated some of those, then took those ashes, divided them up into little baggies, and handed them out like party favors to families. Except, instead of a goodie bag, grieving families were handed a plastic Ziploc with random ashes. No tags, no tracking, no guarantee. Just, here you go. This is definitely your Pomeranian, I pinky swear. The fuck? Intern Tiffany kept spreadsheets. She noticed that while families paid for cremations, many of those pets had no crematory tag numbers. That's suspicious as hell. She found separate handwritten logs for which animals actually went to the crematory, far fewer than the paid cremations listed, and even worse, he allegedly messed with the ashes in his apartment before handing them back. That's right, just sifting through cremains in his living room like he's baking a cake. No chain of custody, no ID verification, no dignity. Just the crustiest mix and match you never asked for. Vereb is now facing felony charges, as he should, 8 counts of deceptive or fraudulent business practices. Investigators think he's been doing this for years. Thousands of people may be walking around with someone else's animal in an urn on their mantle. Or worse, ashes that aren't from an animal at all. And remember, this man was already convicted in the 90s for filing false Medicare claims. He got his license suspended for 6 years, and somehow, he got back in. If this doesn't make your blood boil, check your pulse, because I'm mad. Unfortunately, Vereb isn't the first to pull something like this. In 2023, a Pennsylvania funeral director was caught giving pet owners ashes from fireplace logs instead of their actual pets. In Georgia, a couple found out their dog had never been cremated when animal control found dozens of decomposing animals behind the pet crematory. And back in 2002, there was the tri-state crematory case in Noble, Georgia. Hundreds of human bodies dumped in the woods, never cremated. The owner just lied for years. And I have no idea how the fuck they sleep at night. So what did those cases have in common? No oversight, no regulation, and grieving families who trusted the wrong people. So let me tell you how this should go down. When a pet is cremated properly, the body is logged. It gets an ID number, often a metal ID tag that stays with the body the entire time, because obviously after we cremate your pet or your loved one's body, we can't tell who's who. So that's the point of the metal ID tag number, is to track who that person is through the entire process, person or pet. It's placed in the retort alone for private cremations. When the cremation is complete, the ashes go back into a container with that ID tag. So we even seal off the plastic bag with the ashes with that ID tag. If you didn't get a tag or a certificate with your pet's ashes, red flag. red flag. You should have a certificate that says their cremation ID number and their name. And let me be clear, a Ziploc baggie with mystery ashes and no tag is not only disrespectful, it's unethical. Cremation should not look like a sketchy drug deal. Big red flag. Pet cremation is a booming business. $100, $200, $300 a pop, but there's almost no regulation for pet crematories in many states, including, ding, 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 Pennsylvania. And guess what? Funeral directors can use that to cash in, especially if they think no one is watching. This is why licensing boards matter. This is why oversight matters. Because once your pet is gone, all you have left is trust. And the moment someone breaks that, you can't get your pet back. You just get trauma in a plastic bag and trust issues for life. To every person who is lied to by Verib, I see you. You deserved better and your pet deserved better. If you've ever used Eternity Pet Memorial or Verib Funeral Home, the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office has a website where you can report your case. I'll link it below. And also there is a petition going around that I know that they would appreciate your signatures on for stricter laws and for him to be held accountable. So I'm going to link both of those below. And to Mr. Patrick Verib, if you're watching this, I hope you finally have to sit with the grief you casually discarded into trash bags. I don't think any punishment will ever be enough for the grief that you have caused families. And I don't know if you've just disassociated from that so hard that you can't feel it, but I hope one day it clicks and you understand what you have done. I'm Lauren. I'm a mortician, and if you're new here, hit subscribe. I talk about death, but more importantly, I talk about justice, especially for the ones who can't speak it for themselves. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.